Don't pay no attention to the media. Let's get over this race thing, and let's just be Americans.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I want to talk on racism in prison versus that in a society. Now, I wasn't there the last couple years, last 4 years actually, so I don't know how it was last year during the riots and stuff, but I will tell you this. In Missouri, there's not the racial segregation that you see out west in California and places like that. I mean, there is. People kind of stay to their own. Generally, you can talk to other races, whatever, and nobody's going to say nothing, But if you kind of hang around with them stay with them, then people are either going to think that you want to be like them, or they're going to think you're gay. And that's just the way it is. The yard's not segregated. The chow hall is no longer segregated like it used to be in Missouri. But I noticed the whole time, whenever I was in prison and there was something like riots or something broke out in society, different cities, it didn't happen in the Missouri prisons. Like I said, I can't speak for the others. The only time there was really came close maybe was during the Rodney King riots. But even then, as far as I know, no riots broke out. If I'm wrong and somebody knows about this, please comment. But there's always a underlying racial thing in prisons, There's also people, getting along, When I first went to prison, yeah, the chow hall was segregated. The convicts segregated themselves. Certain parts of the yard were segregated, Like you didn't go, if you was white, you didn't go in the gym by yourself. And there was more of a racial tension back then. But nowadays, it's not as bad, I mean, you got your gangs that are racist or claim to be racist or whatever. But yet, even then, a lot of times you'll see them dealing drugs with other races. Which I always thought was kind of funny, But I was thinking that the free world society in America in particular could learn from these prisons that don't start riots or anything, over a black person getting killed by a cop or whatever, I'm not saying that the cop shouldn't have went to prison. He should have. And I think he should have got more time than he did. 22 and a half years, really? I did 29 for defending my brother. There's really no racial hatred in the Missouri prisons. I mean, you're going to have some here and there, but for the most part, that doesn't exist. I do remember one time I was in the hole when Obama got elected, and when I got out, they put me in a cell with this black guy. He tells me, he says, I got a partner moving in here. He said, so I'm just letting you know. He said, but before we move him in, I'll make sure you find a place to go. You find a cell you want to cell with, somebody you want to cell with. And I said, oh, okay, that's cool. So I went looking for somebody to cell with, and I found somebody, somebody I knew. And but in the meantime, we got a racetrack near here, and when there was race weekend, all these four-wheelers and stuff go up and down. But anyway, sorry about that. He tells me there was this female guard that was white, and he tells me, he goes, man, I want to whoop her ass. I said, why is that? And he says, he goes, when Obama got elected, all of us black folk in here was hooping and hollering and celebrating, you know. I said, yeah, it's understandable. And said she comes in here in the wing. Wing is what is called pods in other states, I think. She comes here in the wing and she says, you all know that he was half white, don't you? I said, she really say that? And he goes, yeah. So I kind of looked at that guard a little differently after that. She'd always been nice, you know. I always thought she was cool. And she never harassed you or anything. And so for her to say that, you know, it just seemed off, you know. You know, it was almost like she was trying to stir up trouble. And she had a lot of them mad at her. I mean, I found out there was a lot of them mad at her. But nothing happened, you know. Now, what would have happened if something like this would have happened on the in the free world, you know? Whoever said it would probably got beat up, you know. And same way with in prison, you know, people, I'm sure that they talked about Derek killing George Floyd, but mention the fact that there was at least 2 other officers there that wasn't white. I think one was Asian or part Asian and the other one was black. Mention that in the prison and nothing will happen, you know. Somebody might get mad or whatever, and you may have somebody mad enough to fight you. But you say it out here and everybody's in an uproar. I'll just say it like it is, you know. They could have stopped him. And people say, well, they didn't want to lose their jobs or whatever. Really? So the death of they're going to let somebody die because they don't want to lose their job? Anyway, I think that at least with the prisons in Missouri, we could all learn from them, you know, to have restraint, you know. And, you know, we just all need to learn to get along, you know, no matter who we are, you know. We're all Americans, right? I thought we were. And so these things that happen out here, and we just need to, we can protest without tearing up our cities, you know. That's all I'm saying. You know, we need the media people. The media is trying to divide us, and they're doing a good job at it. You know, they're the one that keeps instigating stuff, you know, and we just need to not listen to the media. You know, just because they're the ones who are dividing us, and they want to divide us. The media loves when something is bad happening. That's sensational to them. They're all over it. You know, we just, and a lot of times, you know, this goes for anything. You ever notice that when they somebody escapes from prison, they always have this mug shot of the person looking disheveled and, you know, looking bad. And I seen this one time on the news when I was in South Central Correctional Center, and a guy escaped from the work release thing to go to his mom's funeral. They put this mug shot up of him looking terrible, you know, looking bad. But the guy is pretty well kept, you know. He didn't look nothing like the mug shots when they brought him back. So, you can't listen to the media. And the media always gets it wrong. When I was arrested, the media had so many different stories about me being arrested that, you know, nobody knew what was true, you know. I was beginning to, you know, what, you know. So, we can't listen to them. Don't pay no attention to the media. You know, let's get over this race thing, and let's just be Americans, you know. It's not bad to be ashamed of your ethnic background or your heritage or anything like that, you know, whether you're white, black, Asian, Mexican, whatever. But that doesn't mean, but that can be in a positive way, you know. It doesn't have to be negative. When it's negative, it always turns into hatred towards others, and we need to stop that. All right, I thank you guys for the watching. Those who are new, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this video, and everybody have a good day. Those who've already subscribed, thank you, and leave some comments if you guys have any comments on this, you know, your own opinions. I'm not going to get mad, whatever your opinion is, you know, because everybody's entitled to opinions. So, you know, just tell me what's on your mind. Thank you.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars.